It is time for Friday Night Baseball. The New York Mets are traveling to the St. Louis Cardinals, trying to stop this rather despicable two-game losing streak and an absolutely dead lineup over the last couple of days. We're going to see what the Mets can put together in this game. Clay Holmes will be pitching for the Mets. The Mets will have pretty much their full-strength lineup ready to go. So I'm super excited to be with you as you come on in the room, whether you're watching live or on replay. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe. We're on the way to 300 subscribers, ultimately with a goal of getting to 500 subscribers by the All-Star break. So I appreciate each and every one of you. And so it was just a couple weeks ago, the Mets swept the Cardinals in a 4-game series, so they're coming back for more, this time in St. Louis, and the team is going to need to be ready to go right away. Let's go, Mets, baby. Sharon, how are you doing? Tonight, pitching is Clay Holmes for the Mets. The starting lineup for the Mets will be as follows. Leading off will be Lindor playing shortstop. His batting average has dropped just under 300, but he's been absolutely phenomenal as the leadoff hitter in the game, hitting close to 500 in that role. Juan Soto coming off of 2 home runs in the last game in a losing effort for the Mets, but looking like maybe he's starting to break out. He was hitting second tonight, playing right field. Hitting third is your National League Player of the Month. National League Player of the Month is Pete Alonso, so congratulations to Pete. He is batting third and playing first base, going tonight with a 342 batting average and a 1.124 OPS. Hitting fourth in the cleanup spot is Brandon Nimmo. Fifth is Jesse Winker. Sixth, Swaggy Marky V, Mark Vientos. Seventh, Jeff McNeil, the Squirrel. Eighth is Francisco Alvarez, and hitting ninth is your National League Rookie of the Month, Luis Angel Acuna. So that is the starting lineup that the Mets have going. Pitching for the Cardinals tonight will be Sonny Gray. And I'll just quickly run through the lineup for the Cardinals. Lars Nootbaar, followed by Wynn, Donovan, Nolan Arenado, William Contreras, Burleson, Nolan Gorman, Pajes, and Victor Scott the second. Victor Scott the second. I just remember he's really speedy, fast, ready to go. So we are just about ready for first pitch here. Crazy Cat, how's it going here tonight? Covering live New York Mets baseball here tonight. I like these City Connect uniforms for St. Louis. The hat's not a huge fan of the STL on the hat, but I do like blue with the old Cardinals kind of logo with the 2 birds on the bat. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us here tonight. Here's the first pitcher just in time. First pitch is lined by Francisco Lindor right over second base into the outfield. So welcome, everyone. This is MetropoliFins. My name is Craig. We are covering live New York Mets baseball here. We are YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel. If you want to help me change that, just hit that like, hit that subscribe. We're on our way to 500 subscribers. Next checkpoint here is actually going to be 250. I'd love to hit that tonight. That would be absolutely awesome. You live right next to New York. That's awesome, Crazy Cat. Have you ever been to the new Citi Field or the new Yankee Stadium? I've been to the old Shea that does not exist, and the old Yankee Stadium. I've been to both of those, but I've not been to any of the new stadiums yet. So appreciate everybody hanging out and being with it. So sometime go check it out. I've heard that the new Citi Field is absolutely awesome. It's on my list once I can get back up to the Northeast. Right now I'm in Florida, though, so very far away from that. Hey, I understand that. I understand that, Crazy Cat. No worries. That's why we're going to have fun covering Mets games here for those who can't make it. So totally understand it. It is no balls and 2 strikes to Juan Soto. We are bringing out the rally pin right away tonight. So rally pig is what we used to bring out to help the Mets score some runs. Doesn't always work, but we did pretty well last game. So this is grounded to the shortstop, steps on second, throws over to first, and Juan Soto grounds into a double play. Thank you for the sub, Crazy Cat. Appreciate it so much. Here is Pete Alonso at the plate. He is off to a phenomenal start. That's fouled away for the first pitch there. No balls, one strike. So Aaron Judge is the American League Player of the Month. Pete Alonso is the National League Player of the Month. Then Luis Angel Acuna for the Mets is the National League Rookie of the Month. 1-1 to Pete Alonso on the pitch. So if you're not a Mets fan, let me know which team are you cheering for and rooting for. Here, let's put Rally Pig there. That's a good, better angle. Don't worry, Rally Pig is much more attractive than me anyway. You'd much rather watch him than me. All right. Yamamoto got National League Pitcher of the Month. Max Fried, American League Pitcher of the Month. I don't know who the American League Rookie of the Month was. That's fouled back by Pete Alonso. Remains 1-2 strikes. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us here tonight. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe. We're going to be with you all game from first pitch to final out, hopefully bringing a nice Mets victory to you. Mets have not yet had a 3-game losing streak this season, so it's in order to avoid that, they're going to have to find a way to win here tonight. Curveball is going to be a called strike 3 on the outside corner. And that is going to retire the side for the Mets. I'm a Mets fan, Crazy Cat, so I will be rooting for the Mets here tonight. So we're heading to the bottom of the first. It is 0-0. Lindor had a leadoff base hit, but quickly erased on a double play. And then Pete Alonso strikes out. So that's all the action so far. We're headed to the bottom of the first inning. So I'm a Mets fan for baseball and a Dolphins fan for football. Those are my primary teams. There's other teams that I like. And we're on commercial break right now, so you are not missing any of the action here. So Clay Holmes will be pitching for the Mets. He looks to continue to get back on track. He was stellar in spring training, and he's been good, but not great to start off the year. So hopefully a good start to the game here tonight. And it'd be nice to see Clay Holmes go 7 innings or so. Our bullpen is in so much trouble right now. We need a massive amount of help. All right, let's do this. We're gonna try this again here tonight. Let's do not that one. How does that one look? There's that. I don't like that one. Oh, you guys let me know how that works if you're on the horizontal stream. I did not know a YouTuber's retired Dolphins. Well, it makes sense. It's a great career for people who are moving on. I know there's quite a few former major leaguers and NFL players who are either on podcasts or different things. So that's pretty cool. Who is it, Crazy Cat? I would love to know and look them up. First pitch to Newbar is called. Strike 1. Let's see. That doesn't quite work. We'll kind of stick with that. All right, ball to Newbar. 1 strike. Hang time. I'll have to look up the Hang Time YouTube channel. Here's the pitch to Newbar here. That's also high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hang time, Miami Dolphins. Let's see. Oh. Let's find out. That's cool. Thanks for the info. I'm going to go ahead and hit a subscribe on that one, Crazy Cat. That'll be fun. Looks like lots of good, fun videos. He's got a really big following. This is headed out to left field. Bounces up against the wall. Newbar pulls into second. Pulls into second with a leadoff double for the Cardinals in the bottom of the first. Tycoon, how's it going? I look like anger. I don't have the flame on top of my head, though. I have to put, here's the flame. I know my lighting in here is not the greatest. We got to work with what we got. I'm in a rental, so I can't really customize the room too much. And I got no money, so we just got to use the lights that we have. So we got a runner on second, nobody out. Bottom of the first, Clay Holmes pitching and already in trouble here. So there have been cracks more and more. How's it going, Zach? Appreciate you being here tonight. We are watching the New York Mets game here tonight. Mets, Cardinals, nothing. Bottom of the first, Cardinals got the leadoff double here. That's inside. Clay Holmes does not look sharp to start the game. So, yeah, this is New York Mets at St. Louis Cardinals. Mets swept the Cardinals in a 4-game series about 2 weeks ago. That was at home. This is on the road, so the Mets got to try to get back to their winning ways here. There's a called strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. This is Mason Wynn. Mason Wynn at the plate for the Cardinals here. Yeah, kind of what it is for those who can't be watching the game, because obviously for legal reasons. Oh my goodness. He just stole third base standing up. Clay Holmes, yeah, completely did that. Cleavon, how's it going? Appreciate you being here. Yeah, so it's like there's lots of people who are out there who are just like walking, working, driving, can't watch the game. And so like to provide that service, talk Met space. While some people grounder to Lindor, throws it over to first. Pete makes the stretch. They call him out. I don't know if Pete kept his foot on the bag the whole way. The Cardinals are going to score a run there regardless. I think Pete came off the bag. I think this is going to be an infield hit. So we have a challenge going on. That's the delay in the action here right now. Everybody, all the Cardinals fans are cheering. I don't know if I've seen a conclusive angle, but I think you can deduce that he came off the bag. This is going to be the angle. They're going to overturn the call. He is safe, so it's going to be. Well, the Cardinals are going to take the 1-0 lead here on that play. We're waiting to see if they're going to rule it as a hit or an error. I think it's going to be a hit. They are. They're going to call it a hit. So it's back-to-back hits to lead off the game. So Clay Holmes is not looking sharp here. And the way the Mets bats have been swinging recently, I don't know how comfortable I am if we get behind by more than 1 or 2 runs. How's it going, KC? Appreciate you being here tonight. Hope you had an awesome day. There's a pitch for a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. Yeah, Clay Holmes is definitely not sharp. This could be a very, very difficult game for the Mets. I'll never get used to this. Brendan Donovan at the plate, runner on first, already 1 run in. That's a ball, 2 balls, no strikes. Clay Holmes is lost out there right now. So the Mets went no runs in the top of the first. Cardinals already have 1 run in here going out for dinner. I did like an hour and a half of dinner. It was okay today. It was okay today for me, KC, but daytime was better actually today, but I had to cut it early. Mike, how's it going? Appreciate you being here tonight. That's foul back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So this is the start of a brand new series here. Mets at Cardinals in St. Louis. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us here. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe. We're on our way to 500 subscribers with our next checkpoint at 250. This is popped up into shallow center field. McNeil gets under it, makes the catch, throws the ball in, and will remain a runner at first now with 1 out. I had good Instacart, and I actually had a good shopping order on DoorDash today. Like it was like 8 items for $21 shop on DoorDash, so that worked out pretty well. And then I had like a $50, $40, something like that. I think it was like a $40 order on Instacart. So that was where most of my money came from. Mr. Double Play Soto, yeah. Good throw by Alvarez to second to Acuna to catch the base runner. I think he's out. There's already been 1 challenge overturned. Yeah, that is great. It is 1-0 Cardinals in the bottom of the first. Yeah, he got him. So great throw by Francisco Alvarez, right on the money. So how's it going, Julio? Appreciate you being here tonight. So it is 1-0 Cardinals, bottom of the first, 2 outs now, nobody on, with the runner being thrown out at second there on the attempted base steal. Mets are down 1-0. Lindor did lead off the game with a hit. Soto grounded into a double play, as D-Rails let everybody know here just a second ago. And yeah, Cardinals had a good rally, but they kind of run themselves out of anything here. So Clay Holmes was really rough here, but if he can get out of this inning with only giving up a run, that is not going to be too bad at all. So this is MetropoliFins. My name is Craig. We are YouTube's smallest New York Mets Miami Dolphins channel. And that is popped up foul. Playable for Alvarez, and he makes the catch. And the inning is over. But I'm going to tell you, that could have been a whole lot worse than it actually turned out. So it's just going to be 1-0 Cardinals going to the top of the second inning. 4, 5, and 6 coming up for the Mets here. That was not an easy play, Rels. That was not an easy play at all. Ranging right with a fast runner and having to do that. No, but Holmes was wild to start the inning. And so, but that play was not on Lindor. Lindor made a good effort. There's a lot of shortstops that don't even get to that ball, let alone make a throw that had a chance of getting them. And I mean, pretty sure that bounce was an intentional bounce to try to make sure that the throw would be on target and everything. And I mean, Pete almost was able to hold it. I mean, you're talking. They must have had another angle, because I never saw an angle that you could infer that his foot was off the bag, but I never saw one that actually clearly showed his foot was off the bag. At least on what they showed, what I saw on the broadcast. So it's all good though. We got him. We got that base runner wiped off with a nice caught stealing by Francisco Alvarez. So due up for the Mets here in the top of the second inning. It's going to be Brandon Nimmo, Jesse Winker, and Swaggy Mark Vientos. I'm going to just try something here. We've done some other stuff, so I'm going to, just to have some fun, we're going to go. gonna throw on some background music on the horizontal stream, see if people like that better. Yeah. Try different things. Fill in the gaps there. It won't be on the vertical stream for you vertical people, but for the horizontal stream. All right, here we go. We are to the top of the second inning. Sonny Gray gave up the leadoff hit, but after Lindor got doubled up, that was it. First pitch to Nimmo is a curveball in for a strike. So Brandon Nimmo had a 9 RBI game and is followed up with 0 for 5 so far since that game. Now he was also sick and coming off of sickness, so I think you can give him a little bit of a pass on that. That pitch is high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Keith Hernandez doesn't like the City Connect uniforms. I'm okay with the jersey of the Cardinals, their City Connect jersey. I don't like the hat. All right, here's the 2-1 pitch to Nimmo. That's outside. Good patience by Nimmo here. Definitely something that we want to see a little bit more for Nimmo, is a little bit more patience at the plate. That's ripped down the first baseline. Oh, I called it foul? I thought he called it fair. I guess he called it foul. It was just the angle of his arms. It looked like he called it fair. So it's a foul ball there. It's going to be 3 balls, 2 strikes to Brandon Nimmo. So here's the 3-2 count to Brandon Nimmo. And that's high. It's a leadoff walk for Brandon Nimmo. I like Brandon Nimmo when he gets a leadoff walk. Happy Friday to you, Daniel Berry. Appreciate you hanging out with us here tonight. It is 1-0 Cardinals from the top of the second, but Brandon Nimmo just worked himself a leadoff walk. That's going to bring Jesse Winker to the plate. And first pitch to Winker is going to be a ball as well. So 1 ball, no strikes. Winker fouls. Oh, I thought it was going to foul. It's going to fall in. I thought it was going to be a foul ball down the third baseline, but just kind of a cue shot off the end of the bat, falls in the short left field. So Mets have runners on first and second with nobody out here in the top of the second inning. I thought it was going to be foul right off the bat for sure, but it just kept falling into no man's land out there. We got runners on first and second, nobody out, top of the second. Mets are down 1-0. This is going to bring swaggy Mark Vientos to the plate. That first pitch is inside, so Sonny Gray struggling with his command this inning, which is giving the Mets base runners and the opportunity to be patient at the plate. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Vientos. Swing and a miss, big swing. That one was out of the strike zone. That's still something Vientos has to work through. I remember early on in his career, Pete chased a lot of stuff too. So you're going to have patience for young power hitters that are going to tend to chase a little bit more. It's just part of what comes with it. Vientos lines that one into left field. Everybody's going to move up a base. Nimmo had to hold up to see if it was going to be caught or not, and it wasn't. So now it's bases loaded. with nobody out in the top of the second inning. That's going to bring up Jeff McNeil. McNeil's been hitting well since he's been back from the injured list. He's hitting .316 on the season, which is great. It's really nice to have McNeil in your 7 slot. And then you got Francisco Alvarez, Luis Angel Acuna, who's hitting .288 in the 9 hole, the National League Rookie of the Month. First pitch to McNeil is a ball outside. So again, the Mets are being patient, allowing these pitches that are out of the zone, taking first pitch balls when Sonny Gray is not pounding the strike zone. They keep getting into good counts and then doing damage. That's fouled back by McNeil. 1 ball, 1 strike. So I like the approach the Mets are taking at the plate this inning. That's a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes to McNeil. Bases loaded, nobody out. Top of the second. Mets are down 1-0. Trying to get on the board here and take the lead for the first time in the game today. McNeil's got the green Bruce Bolt. Green on white Bruce Bolt batting gloves. That's in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Also has the green wrap on the bat handle as well. So it's going to be 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, bases loaded for the Mets. This has definitely been a... McNeil hits it on the ground. They're going to get the runner at second, but there's no relay throw. So the Mets are going to score 1. The Cardinals are going to get 1 out on the play, so it's going to be 1-1. Mets are going to have runners on first and third with 1 out. All right, so the Mets have tied it up here. We are 1-1. Francisco Alvarez at the plate. I think it's so beautiful having Alvarez hitting in the 8 hole. All right, but once again, first pitch is a ball. That one's fouled back by Alvarez, so it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Sonny Gray really struggling with his first pitch command. He's fallen behind on almost every hitter this inning. And so far, the Mets have taken some advantage. But here's the other thing that I tell you. There's two parts to this Mets offense that they've been struggling. One is not getting any hits with runners in scoring position. 2 is not stacking runs when they have a chance. It's a grounder to short. And Alvarez is able to beat out the relay throw to first. Even though it was a ground ball, Alvarez hustled down the line. He beat out the throw to first. The Mets are going to take the lead 2-1. So I'm very excited about that. All right, so it's 2-1. There's now 2 outs. This is going to bring up Luis Angel Acuna. Acuna won National League Rookie of the Month for the month of April, so congrats to him. If you missed it earlier, Pete Alonso also won National League Batter of the Month, Hitter of the Month, Player of the Month. Acuna fouls that one back. 1 ball, 1 strike again. Sonny Gray's fallen behind on like almost every hitter this inning. So the Mets are at least able to put up a crooked number this inning, which is really good. And they were able to get productive outs. Even though they weren't hits, they're productive outs. And that's been one thing that's been lacking. Is like when they get runners in scoring position, just not being able to get them home, move them up. 2 balls, 1 strike to Acuna. The Mets were shut down basically in back-to-back days by the Diamondbacks pitching staff, so it's good to see them getting some runs early. And with the start of the series, hopefully we can get into the Cardinals bullpen early as well. That's low as well. 3 balls, 1 strike. And here's the thing. After Acuna, you're right back to Lindor. I like the depth of this lineup. It just looks really good. Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Nimmo, Winker, Vientos, McNeil, Alvarez, Acuna. There's ball forward. Acuna checks the swing, so the Mets are going to have runners on first and second. And Lindor is up. You have guys. The Mets' approach has been very patient in this game today. It's like they had a talk after the last game and said, look, we can't keep doing what we're doing here. Rolling over on pitches and grounding out on first pitch and 5-pitch innings and stuff. So we're going to have a mound visit from the pitching coach from the Cardinals here. It is 2-1 Mets. Mets have runners on first and second with 2 outs. So you're not missing anything. We're going to break in the action while they have a mound visit. Talking all their top secret strategies and everything. Welcome back, Crazy Cat. That's really fun to say. Welcome back, Crazy Cat. It is 2-1 Mets. Top of the second, 2 outs. Mets have runners on first and second. Francisco Lindor at the plate with a chance to do a little damage here. Welcome back, Crazy Cat. First pitch is a ball once again. If I were a Cardinals fan, I'd be so frustrated. There's 26 pitches this inning, so after pretty much breezing through the first, Lindor takes a rip there. That's foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lindor got the first hit of the game for the Mets today. Mets are winning now, 2-1. 2-1 in the top of the second. But they have a chance to, with a hit here by Lindor, really open this game up. That's high. 2 balls and 1 strike. So the patience that the Mets are exemplifying here today is just absolutely phenomenal. And that's high. 3 balls, 1 strike. I've probably heard it, Crazy Cat, but I don't know it enough that I could sing it. That's ball 4. The bases are loaded. We're going to bring out rally pick. We bring out rally pick for Juan Soto right now. Bases are loaded. There are 2 outs. Juan Soto's coming to the plate. All right. Which one is it? Is it the Jaquan or the Shabuzi song? Because when I search for Tipsy, 2 of them come up. So which one are you thinking? First pitch is called strike to Juan Soto here. No balls, 1 strike. Or are they the same song? I don't know. That's fouled away. No balls, 2 strikes. So first time Gray's been like an 0-2 count this entire inning here. All right. Sounds good. I'll listen to it a little bit while I'm watching the game. That's in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yep, I found it. In there for a called strike 3 to Soto. So the Mets are unable to tack on any more runs. Okay, I know the song now that I hear it. Yeah. I could not sing it, but I'm familiar with it now that once it gets to the chorus, I'm familiar with it. No, I don't do too much for game. I don't have much time to do any sort of gaming right now. Well, so he's gonna come out of it. He'll be fine. I'm not worried about Soto. I'm judging him on his May stats. And so far in the month of May, he has 2 home runs. Yeah, he's pressing right now. You would too. If you had a $700 million contract, you'd be pressing too. He's got to get past the overall feeling of that. He'll be fine. I have 0 concerns on Soto. 0 concerns on Soto. It's also hard when a pitcher's been so wild and then suddenly it finds the strike zones. It can be hard to adjust to that a little bit too. All right, so we are headed to the bottom of the second inning. The Mets did take the lead. Can't be negative every time the Mets take the lead. Got lots of things to celebrate here. There's always things you can complain about, but there's plenty of things to do that. Well, it sounds like a crazy cat you have there, crazy cat. So it is 2-1 Mets. We're going to the bottom of the second inning. We'll see if Clay Holmes can settle down. That's kind of the big question here, because the Mets bullpen is smoked. I'm trying to see if they brought anybody new up. Looks like Genesis Cabrera is still here. Tell me something, crazy cat. Tell me something about your profile. All right, we're back from commercial break. It is 2-1 New York Mets going to the bottom of the second inning. First pitch drops in for a strike, so I like that. Clay Holmes looked a little shaky, kind of settled down in the first inning. Got bailed out by a nice caught stealing by Francisco Alvarez. Nice. Swing and a miss. Got a pitch in the dirt. Working on a Facebook Marketplace again. See if this works this time. And there is a strike 3 to Contreras. First strikeout of the day for Clay Holmes. Here's the pitch to Burleson. That's going to be a ball 1. If I look closely, I can see pixels. No, not really. I don't do much with pop music or whatever. So, I hear it, you know, I'm aware of it, but I don't really listen to most of it. Mostly listen to, like, Christian rock, Christian alternative. that sort of stuff. That's most of what I listen to when I listen. That ball was lined off the foot of Holmes and then bounced all the way back to Alvarez. And Alvarez threw it to first, but he was able to beat it out. That was such a crazy, weird play. Wait. Alvarez is almost able to catch it off of his foot and do that. Like your brother. They're just working with Holmes on the mound, make sure he's okay to stay in and keep pitching. Gonna have him throw a couple of warm-up pitches just to make sure he's all good. Or the lack thereof. The hair or the lack thereof. All right, Clay Holmes is just throwing some practice pitches just to make sure he's good on the mound. All right, Clay Holmes is going to stay in the game. All right, so there's going to be a runner on first. Sorry, we had an injury delay there. Clay Holmes looks like he's going to stay in the game and do that. Oh, he lives in Florida. Where great, amazing, awesome people live in Florida. First pitch to Nolan Gorman. Out to left field. Nimmo makes a sliding, rolling catch to retire Gorman. It's well hit by Gorman, but good read by Nimmo to get that ball flagged down. Good job by Nimmo there. All right, now we got 2 outs. Bottom of the second, there is a runner on first. First pitch is going to be a called strike on a maybe slightly inside corner, but all right, here's the 0-1 pitch. Pages pops it up. Soto is under it. He makes the catch. So other than one little fluke hit off the foot of Clay Holmes, Mets get out of the inning. And we head to the top of the third. It is Mets 2, Cardinals 1. Do it for the Mets will be Pete Alonso, Brandon Nimmo, and Jesse Winker. Numbers 3, 4, and 5 in the lineup. So good opportunity for the Mets to continue to stack some runs. So we're currently on commercial break. Let's do this. We have not yet done a scoreboard update for tonight. So let me go ahead and bring up the scores so you guys can see them. If you're on the horizontal stream, you'll be able to see the scores on your screen. Otherwise, I will just read them to you. Let's do... All right, here is the current scoreboard. Mets lead the Cardinals 2-1. Top of the ninth, the Phillies are beating the Diamondbacks 3-2. So the team the Mets had trouble with, the Phillies are not having too much trouble with. Diamondbacks trying to score a run to keep that game going. Top of the ninth, bottom of eighth, the Orioles are over the Royals 3-0. Dodgers lead the Braves 2-0 early on. That's not even early on. That's bottom 7. There's a lot of games that are pretty deep already. The Yankees lead the Rays 3-0. Guardians and Blue Jays are tied at 3. That's top of the 7th. Also top 7 is Twins and Red Sox. They're tied at 1. Athletics have a 6-1 lead over the Marlins. That's in the bottom of the 6th. The White Sox lead the Astros 2-1. Padres and Pirates are tied at 1. That's top 4. Reds over the Nationals 3-0. That's in the bottom of the 3rd. Mariners and Rangers are scoreless, end of 3. And in the 2nd inning, the Cubs lead the Brewers 9-0. They scored 2 in the 1st and 7 in the 2nd. So the Cubs have a 9-0 lead over the Brewers. That's just in the 2nd inning. The 2 late games tonight are Tigers at Angels and Rockies at Giants. So that's your full scoreboard update. And just in time, and coming back, here's the 1-1 pitch to Pete Alonso. That's going to be low and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Pete. It's going to be on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Mets are up 2-1. This is the top of the 3rd inning. Pete Alonso's at the plate. Nobody on, nobody out. Mets scored 2 runs in the top of the 2nd. Now the top of the 3rd. That's outside. Full count to Pete Alonso. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pete showing the patience that helped him get to the National League Player of the Month for the month of April. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fights that one off, and that's going to find a base hit down the right field line. So the patience of Pete to take that pitch for ball 3 allows him to get the pitch that he needs to get a leadoff hit here. Trying to show more scores on the scoreboard for those that you want to see that. All right, it is 2-1 Mets. Mets have a leadoff batter on. Nimmo squares to bunt. He pulls it back. It's going to be ball 1. I like seeing Nimmo. He's got a little bit more of a leadoff batter vibe to him tonight. He worked a good walk, and Pete Alonso took off way too early, and he got absolutely picked off at second base. So Pete with a leadoff hit, but the base running blunder. Pete almost got in there with the swim dive into second. 1 ball, 1 strike to Brandon Nimmo now is the count. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Make sure you hit that subscriber on the journey to 500 subscribers. And we would appreciate your help in getting there. Nimmo gets a base hit up the middle. Unfortunately, with Pete already out, it's just going to be a single here. So Mets have a runner on first now with 1 out, with Pete getting thrown out. Nimmo's going to replace him on the base paths. It's really not much different than like a fielder's choice, the way it worked out. But now at the plate is Jesse Winker. Winker had a hit and scored a run in that second inning. Alonso, Nimmo, Winker, Vientos all have hits in this game already today, as well as Francisco Lindor. Big swing and a miss there by Winker. No balls, 2 strikes. There's the throw over to first. Nimmo gets back. Again, count remains no balls, 2 strikes. Jesse Winker at the plate. Mets are up 2-1. 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning. Mets trying to figure out how to get another run across the plate. Let's see what they can put together here. Winker strikes out on a big swing. That was not a good 2-strike swing there. There's a really good pitch, too. Just too big of a swing. Slightly Mark UV. Mark Vientos now at the plate. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Now there's 2 outs. Mets are going to need a base hit here to keep this inning, at least score a run or a walk, but it could at least advance the runners, but Vientos fouls a high pitch. It's probably a ball. It fouls it back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Another big swing and a miss there by Vientos. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Mets batters have taken some big swings, but not coming up empty so far. Vientos waves at that, but he manages to hold his swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Vientos. Mets are up 2-1. Top of the 3rd inning. Clay Holmes pitching for the Mets. Sonny Gray pitching for the Cardinals. Let's see if Vientos can figure out a way to get on base here. Keep this inning going. Oh, big swing and a miss. Way outside. Winker and Vientos both had huge swings on 2-strike pitches. As we would tell our little leaguers, you got to choke up and go for a shorter swing with 2 strikes. They were really big swings. All right. So we are headed to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It remains 2-1 Mets. Appreciate everybody being here with us. We're at MetropoliFins, YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel. If you want to help us outgrow that label, hit that like, hit that subscribe. My name is Craig. We're coming to you from first pitch to end the game with New York Mets baseball here today and tomorrow. So we have the next 2 days covered. And then I think most of next week, at least the early part of next week, we'll have covered too, because they're all going to be late night games. Mets are going west. Refresh the chat here, because sometimes some of the messages get hidden by the YouTube overlords. And then people get upset. Why aren't you responding to my message? Am I in Gotham? No, I am not. But Mets fan, so that's kind of like the real world Gotham. How's it going, JG? Thank you for hanging out with us. We're on commercial break right now, so you're not missing any of the action. Let's see. What's another option? Is that option? Maybe that option? That's probably the best option that we have. Just entered my saloon. So we're going to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It is Mets 2, Cardinals 1. Clay Holmes is pitching. Victor Scott II leading off. Squares to bunt, but pulls the bat back, so that's going to be no balls, or 1 ball and no strikes. Victor Scott is a speedster that the Cardinals placed at the bottom of their lineup. Very similar to the role that Luis Angel Acuna is playing in the Mets lineup. And he slaps that one through the hole to left field, and he gets a leadoff single. And, of course, he will be a threat to steal here. Scott is 10 for 10 in stolen bases this season already, just through the first month. So this will be a challenge for the Mets to try to hold him at first. Lars Nootbaar at the plate. He led off the game with a double. First pitch is a strike on the top outside corner. All right, here is the 0-1 pitch to Nootbaar. That's high. You can tell that Holmes is definitely thinking about Scott on first. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Nootbaar. He grounds it to Acuna. We're going to take the easy out and the sure out at first base. Victor Scott's going to move up to second, so it's essentially the same. As the stolen base. JG, are there any rumbles of concern about Soto? His slower pace to start. Yeah, there are some panicking Mets fans, a few in our chat, that panic about him. He had 2 home runs in his last game. I've said consistently from the beginning, I won't even start to judge his season until about the 3rd week of May. Victor Scott's taking off. Alvarez's throw goes in the left field. Is backed up by Lindor, but he bobbled it, and Scott's going to be able to score. That would have been a better hold by Alvarez there. So that's going to tie it up for the Cardinals. Speed kills. It is a great weapon to have, and kudos to a team that's still willing to play small ball like the Cardinals. As soon as Lindor couldn't pick the ball cleanly, it was toast. That should be an error on Alvarez on the throw. Yeah, I'm really not worried about him. Like, the reason why one of the main reasons why I'm not worried about Soto too much. This is lined in the left field for a single here, so Clay Holmes is struggling this inning here. It's good to know that run would have scored anyway. But, first of all, you didn't get Soto just for one season. You got Soto for a career, essentially. 2, pitchers still have to account for him. It's not like you can just throw him strikes down the middle and he's going to automatically strike out. So I'm not too worried about that. 1 ball, no strikes here to Brendan Donovan. But beyond that, he's saying there's no pressure, but there's a huge amount of pressure on Soto. When you sign that contract, it's got to be weird. When you walk into the clubhouse, everywhere you go, or 99.9% of the places where you go, you're the richest person. Everybody knows how much you're making. So it is 1 ball, 1 strike to Donovan. Cardinals have a runner on first. They have tied the game up this inning. It is 2-2 in the bottom of the 3rd. This is a line drive that's going to hit and land in center field. So the Cardinals are going to have runners on first and third with 1 out. And so Clay Holmes looked shaky in the first, looked great in the second, and now he looks shaky in the third. Yeah. And just this, there's no doubt he's going to always get compared to Ohtani because he's got the big contract. So some Mets fans have zero patience for anything. I just kind of keep thinking, let's just see how he keeps impacting the lineup, how he impacts the game. his defense has been overall better than I expected it to be. You know, I kept hearing everything like his defense is atrocious. I'm like, he's not the best right fielder. He's gonna make a bad play every now and then, but I don't feel like he's costing us games on defense. You know, maybe some statistical analysis would tell us differently. But just based on what I'm seeing with the eye test, I'm not too worried about it. That's fouled back. No balls, 2 strikes. This is Nolan Arenado at the plate for the Cardinals. Cardinals trying to retake the lead here. Cardinals led 1-0. Mets led 2-1. Now the Cardinals have tied it back up. It's 2-2. 1 out in the bottom of the third. Holmes is looking for either the strikeout or the double play here. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Is inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's a fly ball. It's going to get out of play down the first baseline. Remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nolan Arenado. I want to welcome everybody here. Sympathizing Mets fan. Well, yeah, that Mets Cleveland connection with Lindor is obviously that's a pretty significant connection. So Cleveland's off to a pretty good start this year, though, right? You know, the Tigers are going to be the favorite, I think, in the Central, but that Guardians, who we were talking the other night, too, how underrated Jose Ramirez is as a player. He just hit the 250 home run, 250 stolen base club, I believe. And it just feels like doesn't really get much notoriety or fame, really, other than he just keeps putting up stats year after year after year. Justin, how's it going? Happy Friday to you. We got the strikeout on Arenado. So, yeah, I mean, I've never understood exactly why certain players can put up stats and other players can put up the same stats, and one gets a lot of notoriety and the other doesn't. So I don't know what it is with Jose Ramirez, why he doesn't seem to get. He just doesn't seem to get much mention. Let's go Mets, baby. Clayton's trying to get out of this inning here. There are 2 outs now, bottom of the third, runners on first and third. Cardinals have tied it up 2-2. And Contreras gets a single into left field, and that's going to give the Cardinals the lead back. So, Clay Holmes just not looking sharp. And the Cardinals retake the lead. So it was 1-0 Cardinals, 2-1 Mets, now 3-2 Cardinals. Right as you came in, Justin, you can be the jinx tonight. All right, so we're going to try something because we've been using the rally pig and he's been horrible. So we're going to give the anti-rally pig. We're going to bring out the anti-rally pig and see if he can stop a rally. So it's the anti-rally pig now. We're going to see. We're got to figure out the role for rally pig on the team. This is popped to shallow center field. McNeil gets under it, and it's big. One pitch with the anti-rally pig. Anti-rally pig got the job done. So maybe that's his job. But every once in a while you hear about like an outfielder who gets converted to a pitcher or a pitcher who converts to an outfielder. Anti-rally pig. I don't know how you score that. He gets 0.1 inning pitched. Yeah. So the anti-rally pig. Yeah, this is my old piggy bank that I had when I was a kid. And he started the season as the rally pig for the Mets, and he did well, and he's been in a bad slump. It's probably partly because I only bring him out when the Mets are in desperate straits or when Juan Soto is up with Soto's start.
I thought tying Rally Pick to Juan Soto would be a good thing, but maybe not quite so much. All right, so it is 3-2 Cardinals, though, so the Cardinals do take the lead there. We're heading to the top of the 4th inning. So maybe Rally Pig has a future as the anti-Rally Pig. All right, due up for the Mets this inning will be Jeff McNeil, Francisco Alvarez, and Luis Angel Acuna. There are worlds where that could be like a team's 2, 3, and 4 hitter, or 3, 4, and 5 hitter, something like that. And this is our 7, 8, and 9. I really like this lineup. I can still, there are certain areas of it that I wish were a little different. I wish we had better hitters for DH. Nothing against Winker and Marte. I just wish that we had more consistent, higher batting average hitters there. Yeah, Justin, our bullpen's got some issues. I think the good news is there is help on the way. Part of the reason of what's going on. First pitch is a ball to McNeil here. 1 ball, no strikes. There's a couple things going on. So, Brooks Raley is on his way. He should be up in about 2 weeks. Daniel Nunez should probably be coming up after Sunday's game. But the Mets have to keep a spot open because we need a spot starter. The question is Blade Tidwell going to pitch on Sunday? I haven't heard. And I don't know if the Mets would even announce that ahead of time. That's grounded foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes to McNeil. So we do have some reinforcements, but yeah, the injuries are piling up and the wear and tear on those arms. I've been saying for a couple weeks, there's cracks, and I would say they're bigger than cracks in the bullpen now. There are definite leaks in the boat, or leaks in the dam, whatever phrasing you want to use. There is some water coming through the cracks at this point. Now, there's beyond the injuries. It's also just further in the season. The longer into the season you get, the less of an advantage the pitchers have. Pitchers have a huge advantage at the beginning of April, even all through the month of April, because it just takes longer for the hitters to get up to speed. Except for Aaron Judge. This has popped up to shallow left field. If he gets under it, that's going to be the first out in the top of the 4th. Sonny Gray's up to 65 pitches, though, in the 4th inning, so that's pretty good. But beyond that, right, like, it's just hitters are going to be hitting more. The Mets bullpen has been overworked. They were great for the month of April, really, until the last couple games. And but there's reinforcements on the way as well. Francisco Alvarez is coming up. Here's the first pitch to him. That's going to be a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Francisco Alvarez is hitting 8th. Luis Angel Acuna on deck. If either of those guys can get on, that means Francisco Lindor will make it up this inning. Big swing. I've noticed this trend. Big swings tonight from certain batters, namely Winker, Vientos, and Alvarez, all kind of having, I don't know if I would call it an overswing, but they're certainly really big swings. All right, here's the 0-2 pitch to Francisco Alvarez. That's outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Oscar Brazaban, he was good in his opener the other day. I mean, that's outside as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I'm not too worried about Brazaban overall. His ERA is 1.4 on the season. 12 hits and 19 innings pitched, and 8 walks. So his whip is under 1. Jose Butto, I'm concerned there. He's given up strikeout on Alvarez there. Butto has given up 24 hits and walks in just 17 innings pitched. So Genesis Cabrera is still on the team, so we'll see what he brings back. I'm still concerned with why Diaz wasn't able to pitch in back-to-back games against the Nationals and why he needed 2 days of rest before he could pitch. So I am concerned there. Reed Garrett, I'm not super concerned about. He just gave up his first earned run of the season last outing. Kranick, Minpanic, Max Kranick, not too worried there. Stanek, definitely concerned there. All right, talking about the Fleur de Lis. Yeah, Edwin Diaz. I'm not like worried. I feel like we're not being told all the information. So maybe I would be worried if I knew all the information. This is Luis Angel Acuna at the plate here. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'm not understanding why the Mets had a day off, and the very next game they had a save situation. They didn't pitch him. Mets blew that game. It was very frustrating. So, but our starters need to go deeper into games. That's part of it. And Acuna chases. So, yeah, it's probably just a bug that's going through the clubhouse, Justin. And so, it's what Nimmo had. It's just you're in close quarters. It happened to our Little League team this year. One kid gets sick. It happens with kids at school all the time. I'm sure it's the same thing in the clubhouse. So, all right, we are going to the bottom of the 4th inning. Mets looked pretty clueless that inning. The Mets' approach to the plate was really good in that 2nd inning, and even into the 3rd inning was pretty good. But beyond that, it's yeah. All right, for those of you who missed it, Aaron Judge and Pete Alonso won American League and National League Players of the Month. Max Fried Chicken also got Pitcher of the Month in the American League. Yamamoto was the Pitcher of the Month in the National League. And Luis Angel Acuna got Rookie of the Month. Let's see. Christian Campbell got AL Rookie of the Month for the Red Sox. A little blurb on Acuna. Acuna's .288 average is tops among National League rookies with at least 70 plate appearances. His .342 on-base percentage is the best among active NL rookies as well. Andres Munoz was reliever of the month in the American League. He did not give up an earned run and had 11 saves. It's an absolute amazing month. And Robert Suarez has 12 saves with a .64 ERA for the Padres. Yeah, Little League's good stuff, man. It is good stuff. I wish I had played longer. I'm trying to make sure my son has opportunity to play as long as he wants, and I'm trying to make it so he wants to play as long as possible as well. They're the good old days. You just get a group of kids playing baseball together. You won't remember the vast majority of the at-bats or the strikeouts or anything, but you'll remember some of the highlights of the plays, and you'll always remember your friends in the clubhouse. So, 1 ball, 1 strike to Nolan Gorman here. That's popped up. It's foul territory on the third baseline. Vientos makes the catch. There's a quick first out. Clay Holmes has been kind of a two-faced today. Struggled a lot in the first and the third, and was great in the second, and great to start the fourth. So. Yep. So other people might ask later too, but I'll fill in now since we're talking Little League. There's pitch 1 ball, 1 strike to Pajes. So my son played his last regular season game last night. We almost moved on in the playoffs. We did not move on by a tiebreaker. And it was literally, if we had scored one more run in the game last night, we would have moved on. So, but after the game, they had Gatorades and pizza for everybody, and it was super fun. They might do like one more get-together, but yeah, his regular season, my son's regular season for Little League is officially over. Vientos takes the grounder, throws it over to first. I'm going to just read to you guys. I'm super proud of him. This will probably be the best statistical season he will ever have. And I think it's time for him to try out for the next level up. So he played 21 games. He missed 1 game because of sickness. So he played 21 games, 67 plate appearances. That's what happens when you're the leadoff hitter. So basically got, on average, got up 3 times per game. Of those 67, he had 36 official at-bats. So 31 times he either walked or got hit by the pitch. So this was kid pitch. So he's in like in the 8 to 11-year-old division. So it's like called AAA, which is like the level below what you see on ESPN. Okay, so next year he'll be trying out for the majors level, which is what, when you see the Little League World Series on ESPN, that's what it would be. It was a swing and a miss by Scott. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So this was kid pitch. It's his 3rd year in AAA, and his batting average for the season, he finished at .722. 26 hits and 36 at bats. His on-base percentage, if you add in all those walks and a couple of hit by pitches, his on-base percentage was .851. So if he comes to the plate 20 times, he's getting on base 17 of those 20 times. And this was in 21 games that he played in. Then it should be noted, he was really proud of his stolen bases. He finished the season with 85 stolen bases in 21 games. So he's stealing 4 bases a game. Victor Scott takes strike 3 called. Clay Holmes comes out of it. And then he also started pitching. Pitching stats are really kind of messed up at this level, the way I kept score, because you don't track errors. You just let everything be a hit. How's it go and undersimplified? And but notably yesterday, in his final pitching performance of the season, in a playoff game with the pressure on, he pitched a 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts and gave up no runs, no hits in his 1 inning of pitching yesterday. So we are going to the commercial break. So once again, it was an even-numbered inning. So Clay Holmes did well. He struggled in the odd-number innings, and he's doing well in the even-numbered innings. We're going to head to the top of the 5th inning. It is still Cardinals 3, Mets 2. Mets are looking to get some runs here. We will be starting with Juan Soto. So we're going to try. This worked. We're going to keep trying here. Well, that's anti-Rally Pig. This is Rally Pig. All right, so we're going to try. We'll bring out Rally Pig, see if the Mets can get a run on the board here, get this game tied up, or even better, take the lead. So now for my son, we're just waiting to see if he gets the call for All-Stars. That is That is the wait and see, but we got to wait 2 weeks. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Rally Pig can do. Anti-Rally, I do like Anti-Rally Pig. He's got a future here. But yeah, so we're waiting on the call. They're going to play out the tournament this week. He's got a couple of his former teammates are still in the tournament, and I told him if they make the championship game, then we'll go watch and cheer his friends and his teammates on. So first pitch to Lindor is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. I like this version of Sonny Gray. I like the version of Sonny Gray where he pitches first pitch balls. That's how we did so well that second inning. Mets need to get Gray out of here this inning. He's at 76 pitches, 77 pitches now. 1 ball, 1 strike to Lindor. So I was kind of sad that their season was over last night, especially because it was like 1 run difference from moving on. That's inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. But I'm feeling hopeful that he's going to make All-Stars. I believe he has the stats. And I don't know which level of All-Stars it'll be because there's like 3 different levels. But I'm hopeful. And if not, that's still going to be. I can't imagine, because if when you start moving up, the defense gets better, and I can't imagine he'll ever have better stats. But I mean, to be able to say for entire 21 game season hitting 725 or what was it? What was the final bang? Lindor fouls that one back, 722 in a 21 game season. Like, I don't even know if I could do that against little leaguers. I'd probably strike out or pull a muscle or something on my way to first. So he's going to always have that as his kind of, I mean, that's a brag season you can brag to your kids about. So he'll always have that with him. Lindor lifts this one, but not quite deep enough. Victor Scott's going to get under it for the first out. There's going to be 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. Yes, Blade Tidwell is going to make his Major League debut on Sunday. Tyler McGill is going to be pitching tomorrow. We will have tomorrow's game. So we're going to have the Saturday game coverage, but we will not have the Sunday game coverage. Though what we might do, just because it is Tidwell's debut, I might do a couple innings of it if I can. I just have other commitments Sunday afternoon. Soto rolls over that one. Big swing. No ball, 1 strike. So I've noticed that some of the Mets players are just taking too big of a swing. A little too big of a swing right now. Winker, Vientos, Alvarez, and probably Soto's in that category too. Yep, same thing. It's just like, it just doesn't look smooth. Like, I don't know how to explain it, and there's probably a better term, but it's like it's just all power and doesn't have that kind of smoothness through the zone that you'd want to see a swing. Yeah, they're saying unbalanced. That's another good way to say it too. Fouled it off. That's a good 2-strike swing there to foul that pitch off. So Keith Hernandez says he's pulling off the ball, which is kind of true too. And so it's almost like he's kind of almost stepping out too far. And I know it's kind of hard to explain, but I'm just trying to look at it saying, okay, if I saw one of my kids on the Little League team doing that, he rockets this one. That's going to be a double down the right field side. Stand up double for Juan Soto. That swing just looks so much better and smoother. Yeah, that swing just looks so much smoother. but he's still ahead. He wants to pull the ball, is what Keith Hernandez is saying. It was. That's a Yankee Stadium home run. You're for sure, Justin. That pitch is, I guess, going to catch the outside corner. No balls, one strike. Pete Alonso at the plate. Then again, everything's a Yankee Stadium home run. Foul down the third baseline by Pete. And I got to give an absolute shout out to the Little League coaches that my son had this year. Like, yeah, I coached, but I wasn't the head coach. I was just the stats guy. Had absolute great coaching all the way through the season. And I already told the coaches this. So Pete hits this one. That's going to go back to the wall. It's out of here! Rally Pete comes through, and Pete Alonso comes through. It's a 2-run bomb for Pete Alonso, and the Mets are going to take a 4-3 lead. All of a sudden, yeah, throw those polar bears in that chat. Pete Alonso says, I want to be player of the month for May, too. Not just April. That was a really good swing. Kept his head down, stayed on it. So that is going to give the Mets a 4-3 lead, and Rally Pig comes through. This is a back-and-forth affair. There is no way I think that this game is close to being over. The Mets need at least, I'm going to say first 1 to 9 wins this game. I'm just going to go on record. I'll type that and see if that plays out. And Nimmo floats one that's going to drop into left field. And there's another base runner. So the Mets are rocking and rolling. So they have a freeze frame. I'm just pausing this to look at this. They have a freeze frame with Pete Alonso, and it's just so beautiful. I'm gonna let me share it on the horizontal stream for those of you who are watching over there. This looks so good. So you can see it on the horizontal stream. Here on the vertical stream, I'll show you guys. I'll turn the camera around for this, so you can see. You can see the same thing we're looking at there. So you just see how his head stays down. Like there's something that is like so significant about that, where your head is staying down, and you're just keeping your eye on the ball. Because what happens is a lot of players, when they swing down like that, their head kind of goes up. Their head watches where they want the ball to go. And again, I'm talking from the Little League side. This is why a lot of Little Leaguers don't ever hit with power. It's because they want to see their home run balls. But by not having their head down and by not watching the ball all the way through, they miss out on the power. So
Winker dumped the base.
All right, Jesse Winker is at the plate. Snowball's one strike.
Out of the third.
Oh, I gotta stop sharing the screen. Can't share that. They're gonna get upset with me really quick if I share the whole stream there. We'll bring the scoreboard back up for you guys though. I like that. That's the setup I like. All right. No balls and 2 strikes to Jesse Winker. Winker barely fouled that off to stay alive. Remains no balls and 2 strikes. Sonny Gray is up to 93 pitches. I said the goal is get Sonny Gray out of the game this inning, and it looks like there's a good chance that this could be the last inning for Sonny Gray. So Soto with the double that could have been a home run. And then Pete Alonso with a home run. That's a home run in pretty much every ballpark. That's in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Mets are still trying to keep this rally going here. good stop by Pajes. All right, here's the 1-2 pitch to Winker. Winker fouls that one off. Good job by Winker. It's not a pretty swing, but when you have 2 strikes, so another thing. I'm still in like Little League mode, so sorry about that. So my apologies if you don't care about all my coaching insights. That probably don't really matter because, but strike 1 and strike 2 are your strikes. This is what I started teaching the kids. Yeah, strike 1 and strike 2 are your strikes. You can do whatever you want. You can look at them. You can swing at them. You can even swing at a pitch that's out of the strike zone. If those are your 2 strikes to do with what you want. But once you get strike 3 is the team strike. And because of fouling those pitches off, Winker lines it up the middle and he gets a base hit. So Nimmo's going to hold up at second. Mets have runners on first and second with 1 out. 2 runs in already this inning. But that's kind of the approach. Now, sometimes we'll also have kids take a pitch, like yesterday, when pitch counts matter because there's automatic removal of pitchers for pitch counts. We would have kids take a pitch until a strike came. Hey, Sonny Gray's out of the game. The Mets listen to me. And we're going to have a pitching change right here, right now. So what we're going to do is this. I'm going to actually use this as a break in the action. And I'll be back with you guys shortly. So everybody say hi to Rally Pig. Keep them company. And we will be right back in just a couple of minutes. All right, we're back. Sorry, I had to grab a slice of pizza. Exactly, Justin. You got to protect the plate for sure, for sure. Redman, Pete Alonso hit home runs. You love it. Absolutely. By the way, go commercial break for a pitching change for the Cardinals here. So you are not missing anything. Oh, I might be behind a little bit here. I'm a little bit behind. Sorry. All right, we're caught up now. Roycroft is pitching now for the Cardinals. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Vientos. My bad. Vientos grounds it to second. Throwing over to short. Oh, and he doesn't hold on to it at first. And Nimmo's going to score. Vientos is going to be safe at first. because he didn't hold the ball at first base. Oh. Yep. Absolutely just dropped it. So that should have been an inning-ending double play. All right. Jeff McNeil is up. Okay, so that was a good job by Nimmo staying alert to the play and then finding the opportunity to score at the end there. So it is 5-3. McNeil's going to line a base hit out to left field, so the Mets inning is going to continue. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yep, we stole a run. Edwin Diaz needs to pitch. I hope that we don't need to go to Edwin Diaz tonight because we win by like 7. I said first team to 9 wins this game. I have 0 confidence in our bullpen tonight. Francisco Alvarez at the plate. Swings first pitch. It goes foul down the third baseline. It is 5-3 Mets. That is an absolute gift. Yeah. I mean, I deserve. So I missed the 2 huge games where the Mets scored a ton of runs. I didn't stream those 2 games because we had baseball, because that was Monday, Tuesday, right? And then I was able to stream Wednesday, Thursday when the Mets just decided not to play baseball for 2 days in a row. Alvarez shoots it through the hole. They're going to wave Vientos around. The ball is going to be cut off. Alvarez comes through. And so that error not only hurts the 1, but gets another Mets run through. It is 6-3 Mets here. Oh, this is beautiful. Rally Pig is like, my goodness, Rally Pig is going to town. He is absolutely busting out tonight. Rally Pig has been out. He is now 2 for 4 with 6 runs scored. So everybody throw the Rally Pig emojis in the chat. He is coming through big time today. Yeah, we're the Rally Pig staying out. I mean, at this point, you know, we could see Lindor and Soto get up again this inning. Runners on first and third. There are 2 outs, so the Mets got to keep hits going here. The National League Rookie of the Month, Luis Angel Acuna. Is that the play? Isn't that cool to say that? Congrats again. Oh, there we go. There's the pigs. And a Rally Pig. I just think that's a cool honor. You know, there's only 7 months of the season that you're going to get that. April, May, June, July, August, September. Probably 6 months. Probably only six of those awards will be given out the entire season. So whether or not Acuna finishes as the Rookie of the Year, to always be able to say that you were the best rookie in the month of April, that's cool. And so congrats to him. Same thing, congrats to Pete Alonso for being the National League Player of the Month. And I wonder the last time the Mets won 2 Player of the Month awards in the same month. Acuna chops this one. It's going to go foul. If that had stayed fair, that was going to score a run, and Acuna was easily going to be safe. That's speed. Is this crazy? You've got a guy for the Mets hitting .284 on the season, batting in your number 9 hole. Isn't that beautiful? Francisco Alvarez is hitting in the 8 hole. Jeff McNeil, former National League batting champion, hitting in the 7th hole. Mark Vientos hit 30 home runs last season in the 6th hole. I love the depth of this lineup, and I love the makeup of this lineup when everything is here. Grounder to third. They're going to take the short out to get Alvarez at second. But, I mean, the Mets turn over the entire lineup. That means we're going to lead off. Yep, Rally Pig went crazy, Jonathan. Rally Pig is absolutely on fire. He's 2 for 4 on the day with 6 runs. This Rally Pig might get the MVP award. And then we also introduced the anti-Rally Pig. And that worked the one time we've used it, which is when the other team is rallying, we bring out the backside of Rally Pig. So it's like the pork butt. So we bring out the anti-Rally Pig, but we save that for when the Cardinals are rallying. So we have some good. We just didn't know Rally Pig is actually, he's like the Shohei Ohtani of rally mascots. He's a pitcher and a hitter. And I think he was just upset. So we bring him in dire situations. So basically, anti-Rally Pig will just live out here when Ryan Stanek is pitching. When Stanek comes out, anti-Rally Pig comes out. It's gonna be that. All right, let's do this since we're at commercial break. By the way, Jonathan, how are you doing today? Sorry that the Mets did not win when you were at the game the other day, but thanks for checking in. It's always cool. It's always cool to hear from you when you're actually at the game. I'm always jealous of you, so I hope you had a good day, even though it was not a good day for the Mets. All right, quickly do a scoreboard update. These are, if you're on the horizontal stream, I'm trying out just having the scoreboard just kind of constantly scrolling. So this game is 6-3 Mets. We've got the Dodgers are beating the Braves 2-1. Yamamoto went like 6 or 7 innings of shutty today, brought his ERA back under 1. The White Sox are beating the Astros. Go White Sox. It's 4-3, going to the bottom of the 8th. The Reds continue to find some ways to keep scoring runs, and they are leading the Nationals 6-1. That's in the bottom of the 6th. Padres over the Pirates 5-3, top of the 6th. Mariners are looking more and more impressive by the day, including Cal Raleigh, who's 2 for 4 on the day. Again, they are leading the Rangers 10-0 in the 6th. The Cubs also, they got off to a 9-0 lead on the Brewers after 2. That game is still at 9-0. The Mike Troutless Angels are beating the Tigers 1-0. That's just in the top of the 2nd. And Rockies and Giants are getting ready to get started here shortly. Few games in the books. You've got the Phillies that beat the Diamondbacks, something the Mets couldn't do, 3-2. Orioles shut down the Royals 3-0. I'd like to see the Orioles turn things around here soon. Yankees beat the Rays 3-0. Blue Jays over the Guardians 5-3. Red Sox beat the Twins 6-1. And the Athletics are 3 games over 500. They are legitimately threatening to make the top 10 in the power rankings. I've been watching them. Yes, they're playing the Marlins, but there's just something about seeing a team that no one has any expectations for that keeps finding ways to win. And I think we should reward them if they can keep it up for a couple more days. And I mean, you're playing the Marlins, so I would love to do that. Stanek needs to go down to the minors. Or if he doesn't have options, it's okay. You can find another guy who can blow leads in the 9th inning. They're easy. It's very easy to find pitchers on waivers or available for trade that blow 9th inning leads. That's not a hard position to find. It's 2 balls and no strikes. This is Mason Wynn up here for the Cardinals. I'd like to see Clay Holmes to actually have a good odd number inning. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And that's going to be a ball. It's going to be 3 balls and 1 strike. There's a strike, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Mets. Welsh, how's it going? Yeah, and he just keeps getting injured. It's so unfortunate. I think his resume is going to be good enough to get him into the Hall of Fame, but his career could have been so much better. So an update for all you guys, because I know we were talking about it. Redman says Carlos Mendoza better not put Stanek in. So my son had his third game Little League last night in the playoffs, and they did win the game, but they did not win it by enough to win the tiebreaker. They needed to score one more run. We had a couple of blunders in the game. We had one base running error where there's like a little pop-up to third base with 2 outs, and we had runners on second and third, and the kid didn't run until the ball hit, even though there were 2 outs. And then he got thrown out at home. And so, yeah, it was one more run. So it was a great season. We had absolute phenomenal coaches all season. I wanted to give my son's final stats for the season. I did this earlier. These were in 21 games this season. So 3 balls, 2 strikes for win. 21 games, 67 plate appearances. Of those, he got 36 at bats. So basically, he either walked or was hit by a pitch 31 times. But in those plate appearances, he went 26 for 36, which is a .722 batting average. That's fouled away by Win. His on-base percentage was .851. His slugging percentage for the season was .833. His OPS was 1.684 for the season. That's his slug. He finished with 23 singles, 2 doubles, and a triple. 4 RBIs. Why only 4 RBIs? Well, because he's the leadoff hitter. So he rarely came up with base runners on. The amount of times that he was leading off the inning was quite a bit. Finished with 39 runs scored, only 6 strikeouts, and 85 stolen bases. He averaged 4 stolen bases a game. So yeah. I was one of the coaches, Redman. I was not the head coach. I was the stats guy. But yeah, I mean, so we have to wait though. They cannot announce All-Stars till May 15th. So I just told him, you just have to stay baseball ready. That's a grounder to third. Vientos makes the spin and gets the out retired at first. That's going to be 2 outs. Yes. Well, thank you. I mean, it was him. The best thing. So we were brand new to this league and to this team. We did not know anyone. And, Coach liked his raw ability at the beginning of the season, but he was struggling because we moved up to a heavier bat, and it turned out that he wasn't ready for it yet. Even though he had been swinging it in practice, he just didn't have the bat speed, and he kept swinging under it. And so we realized, hey, we just got to go back to the smaller bat. So, and in that time, the coach moved him from leadoff to the bottom of the lineup, like 12th in the lineup. This is hit out to center field. McNeil gets under it. And for the first time in the game today, the Mets do not give up any runs in an odd number inning. So, Jonathan says baseball ready. No ice cream, no video games, no soda. No, you get to celebrate a little bit, but just basically just still practice every day. Get out there, do something. So, and by the way, the other thing I didn't mention, in his final game, he started pitching like halfway through the season. He pitched 1 inning yesterday. It was a 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts against a team that had beaten us prior in the season. And so I was super proud of him. But the best thing the coach did is he moved him to the bottom of the lineup and basically said, look, you got to earn, if you want to be the leadoff hitter, you got to earn that spot back. And that little fire under my son, some kids wouldn't take it, but I've always told all the coaches, I'm like, I don't care. You guys do what you need to do. You coach, because he needs someone to tell him every once in a while that there's improvement that you need to make. Yeah, I told him, I was like, this is almost certainly going to be your best statistical season ever, because he's going to move up to the next level. And I mean, even great hitters in high school, I'm talking like the best of the best, like major league draft picks, hit only like 500 or 550 in high school. So it's like, that's probably going to be his best statistical season, like per average ever. Otherwise, you'll be seeing him in the Hall of Fame in 30 years if he can keep this up. but no, like the coach did a good job of coaching throughout the season, moved him down to the bottom. And when he was moved to the bottom of the lineup, my son saved the lineup card where he was at the bottom of the lineup, and he posted it, and he walked by every single day for 2 weeks, and he did the work because he said, I never want to hit at the bottom of the lineup again. And I was like, I was proud of the coach for doing that, you know, because you don't know how a kid's going to react when you're the coach. And I was proud of my son for just like, let's take this on. Like, this isn't what you want, so go earn it. And he's always had to do it because he's always played up. He's always kind of been playing, you know, kids bigger than him, kids older than him, which of course has made him better. But like, yeah, and I think he still has that lineup card. So yeah, no, so I'm proud of the coach for doing it, because some coaches won't, you know, like, especially at this level, they're afraid to do that, and this coach wasn't. And by the way, we're going to the top of the 6th inning. Francisco Lindor is leading off. So, yep, Lindor, Soto, Alonso. Thank you. And so, and if he makes All-Stars, he's probably going to have to battle from the very bottom again. You know, I don't think they're going to just, you know, there's 5 teams in the league, you know, 5 teams from the league that they'll pull All-Stars from. So you're talking 1, at most 2 from his team. He does not have the highest batting average in the league. He doesn't have the most hits. Well, he might have the highest batting average. I don't know. It's hard to say. He does not have the most hits in the league. We know that. He's like only 5th or 6th in hits. You know, and he's still he's relatively small to probably most of the kids who are going to make All-Stars. And so if he makes it, he's going to have to work, and he's going to have to earn the position. And it's good. I like it. Like last year, he made All-Stars and he barely got to play, but it still helped him. You know, because you still get the extra coaching. You know, like, I don't even care. Okay, I don't want to say I don't care. That's not a Gen X enough of me. But I'll say this. I'm not concerned with how he does in All-Stars. I'm just more there like, hey, it's extra coaching from good coaches that you get to work through things, to get better at things and everything. So it's good. So yeah, unfortunately, I mean, it was like literally 1 run. Hey, there's a leadoff single for Francisco Lindor. Oh, sorry, for Soto. Wow, totally botched that call. I got to it. All right, rally pick is out for Soto. So back-to-back innings with hits for Juan Soto. Sorry, I totally missed the Lindor at bat. I was talking too much. That's how it goes sometimes. I got way too many tabs open on my computer here. Like I got Arizona Diamondbacks tabs open. Alonso's big swing and a miss there. I got a Huascar Brazoban tab open on my thing, so. But yeah. Yeah, no rally pick. It's okay, we're sneaking them out now. I'm going to call that a strike at the top of the zone. So, anyway, I appreciate your guys' support. I always pass on your encouraging words to my son too, and so we'll see once we know. But it's gonna be 2 weeks till we find out one way or the other. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be in, but we've let him know from the start. Like, just don't ever think it's gonna be given to you. That's inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Pete Alonso here. It is 6-3 Mets in the top of the 6th inning. They're also talking about trying to put together a parents versus kids game for his regular season team sometime next week. So, oh, it's a grounder to second right there. Pete Alonso's going to ground in the double play. All right. So, Rally Pig. Hey, he's 2 for 5 with 6 runs. You're such a New York Mets fan, Jonathan. Keep them accountable. Keep them accountable here. All right, we're headed to the bottom of the 6th inning. By the way, if you guys are watching on the horizontal, let me know if you don't like the background music. I just keep trying different things. Well, bottom 6th, not bottom 5th. So if you think the music is annoying on the horizontal, let me know. I can turn it off easily. I'm trying to figure out ways to keep everybody more engaged within it. Hey, look, broken clock is right twice a day. You know, my favorite phrase is the early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. So, if you ever need an excuse to sleep in. The early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. I appreciate everybody hanging out. We are on our journey. Our goal is to get to 500 subscribers by the All-Star break. Yeah, no, I brought the Rally Pig out, Justin, for Pete, and that was... We're going to figure him out. I think Rally Pig needs to come out one foot on a banana peel, the other foot in the grave. That one's good, Jonathan, too. Oh, no. New York Pizza Rat. How's it going, Soundwave? Hope you guys are doing well tonight. I also like what doesn't kill you only brings you closer to death. We used to do that when I was doing some like youth backpacking trips. That's what we tell the kids. What doesn't kill you only brings you closer to death. All right, Clay Holmes is going to be in the game here still. Bottom of the 6th. It'd be great for this bullpen if he could at least get into the 7th. First pitch is a strike. No balls, 1 strike. The Mets bullpen desperately needs a break. That's line to Acuna. He picks up that ball. Looked really weird, like it was like glitchy on my screen. Yeah, look, that ball looked like it had like a blue comet tail when it came off his bat. I think my feed glitched right then. Do you guys remember back in the day when they tried like that little glowing halo around the hockey puck when they were trying to make hockey more popular? That's kind of what it looked like. Contreras at the plate. Contreras made a huge error that just helped the Mets build this lead out. So I'm sure he's looking for some redemption here. First pitch is fouled back. No balls, 1 strike. That's going to be a looper. It's going to fall in. So Contreras is going to have a 1-out single. So there's a one out base runner for the Cardinals here. Let's just get the double play. Brendan Donovan coming up. Clay Holmes is in here. Holmes' pitch count is at 84. So first pitch, nice strike down the middle. No balls, 1 strike. All right, here's the 0-1 pitch to Burleson. All right, sounds good, Vitalik. Since when does McNeil play outfield? Since Jose Siri went on the injured list, and since he's back, and his bat is probably more valuable than Tyrone Taylor. Like if you want it, I like this configuration, especially early in the game, and then you've got so much flexibility with the way this roster is constructed. Personally, I'd still rather have Beatty up than Azokar. That was a weird play. Contreras went back to first. Pete should have just stepped on first, I guess, and then Pete didn't know that Contreras didn't go. That's a weird play. So Burleson ends up on first base on the fielder's choice. That's just a really strange play. But even if Pete steps on first there, Contreras was hung out to dry. He would have been able to tag him. I don't know. That was a weird looking play. So I wonder if the first base coach touched Burleson. They could have challenged that as an out, possibly. Ugh, weird play. The Tigers might win the AL. I mean, the Tigers had a great run last year with one good starting pitcher. And now they've got 3 good starting pitchers. Gorman is going to hit this out to center field. Tyrone Taylor came in for defense, and he makes a nice play. I know little bits and pieces, Welsh, so go ahead, ask away, and I can do a little research here, too. Yeah, Max Fried is looking awesome. Fried and Yamamoto are just absolutely dominating. They both had dominating pitching performances tonight, and both of them just won their respective leagues' pitchers of the month. So I'll tell you what, when Garrett Cole went down, I had my doubts on the Yankees, not because of the hitting, but no, you're good. We're at a commercial break anyway, so you're good. Welsh, ask your question. We're headed to what are we headed to? The top of the 6th, right? I don't know what are we headed to. Yeah, we're headed to the top of the 6th here. Everything's like delayed right now on MLB. We top of 6th, is that right? Yeah. Oh no, you're good, Mom. We're covering Mets and Cardinals live, but yeah, no, you're totally good. I'm glad that you're here. How's it going, good or bear? 32 card set of LeBron James when he was a rookie. Okay. Do you know? Let me do this. LeBron James 32 card set. Is it Upper Deck? I'm going to just kind of start by seeing what I can find here for you. So you have the set, but it's opened. Okay. So I'm assuming it's this. I'm assuming that's the set that you're talking about, Welsh. So let me know if that's kind of roughly what you're dealing with. Okay. So this one has sold, I don't know exactly what it sold, but a sealed set. Outside box is in bad shape. Okay. So here's what I would recommend. If you have a card shop in town, I would recommend you just bring it into them because the box won't matter for the grading of the cards. And so if the box is sealed but in bad shape, I would still probably leave it sealed. It's kind of like Schrodinger's box that it's... Oh, we're way far. It's the 7th. What? Rally Pig, quick. All right, Rally Pig quick. Sorry, I saw that. I don't know why. I'm just following what Jonathan says. We're the top of the 7th, aren't we? We have to be. Everything is slow and messed up on MLB. Okay, so what I would recommend, since it's unsealed, is bring it into like a card shop and have them go through the cards individually. Do you have an autograph? Because obviously the autograph would be the one you'd want to get graded. No matter what condition, I think you'd probably want the LeBron autograph graded. So that's one thing I would start with there. I have no idea. Everything is like so messed up on MLB right now. What in the world is going on? I have no idea. It's like showing a commercial break. Everything is like delayed everywhere. What in the world? I'm so confused. I'm confused. That's what's going on. I'm totally messed up. No auto. The Mets have some issues that they got to work through for sure. So doing that, but that's what I would recommend. It was without, because the individual cards are going to be comped as they need to be comped. I'm going to send. I'll just post the link to this guy's eBay. It's not my eBay listing here. That's a really long link. Let's see. Can I get a shorter link than that? Let me. So I would at least check that out to start. Yes, Wade Tidwell is pitching for the Mets on Sunday, so I'm super excited about that. I won't be able to stream that whole game live. Are we in the bottom of the 6th with 1 out? Is that what's going on? Like, I have zero. I've lost my entire. It's like on a permanent commercial break here, and I have no idea what's going on. This is so messed up. It's the 7th inning. Yeah, everything is backed up. So check this out. This is ESPN StatCast. It still has it in the 6th inning. MLB.com has it in the 6th inning. Yeah, well, I think you would just look at you probably wouldn't grade them all. That's why I think you bring it into a card shop and you have them. You have them tell you if there's like 1 or 2 or 3 that are really worth. Yeah, so I'm sorry, guys. Like we totally. So it was a Nimmo home run. Is that what I missed? Finally got the stream back here. The entire. Well, here I'm rewinding to watch. I'm giving the home run call for Nimmo. I'm going to give the home run call. Here's the first pitch. Nimmo, he flies it out to right center field, pretty deep, and it gets out. It's a home run for Brandon Nimmo. Okay, I know that doesn't really feel good since it's so late. Sorry, but we got to call it. Yeah, no, like seriously, every feed went down. Like I'm telling you, this is the ESPN feed. I lost my video feed. The ESPN feed still has the bottom of the 6th. I'm like, I know it's the 7th inning. I'm like so confused. So, all right. Well, we're here. We're back. Yes, we will be streaming tomorrow's game live, Lane. So make sure everybody hits that like, hit that subscribe. We will be live tomorrow for the 2 o'clock game. and I might be live for like the first inning or two of Sunday's game. It won't be the full game because I've got a commitment Sunday night, and I've got to be there by like 4 o'clock or something like that. So, it is 2 balls and 2 strikes to Tyrone Taylor, who made a great defensive play, and he lines this down the left field line. He's going to get extra bases, so I bring him in for defense, and he produces some offense as well. So, well, I'm sorry for that entire mess up. Did I get Rally Pig out before the home run of Nimmo? I got to know that for his stats. It's just the depth of this lineup is so nice. And now you're following this up with Francisco Alvarez. Pitching for the Mets tomorrow is Tyler McGill, Lane. Tyler McGill is pitching for the Mets. His ERA has gone up a little bit, but it's still below 2. So hopefully he can come back with another good performance tomorrow. Oh, opposite field hit. Tyrone Taylor's going to round third. The throw is going to be cut off. And it's an RBI single for Francisco Alvarez. Do you guys realize that we have Francisco Alvarez hitting in the 8th hole in this lineup? He is our number 8 hitter. And now you have Luis Angel Acuna, the National League Rookie of the Month, hitting in the 9 hole with Lindor protecting him. I'm telling you what, this lineup, if everybody can start doing their jobs, it's a good lineup. All right, well, Rally Pig's going to get a run for sure here. Good call. Jonathan was feeling Rally Pig. So Rally Pig is now 3 for 6 today with 7 runs. Beautiful day for Rally Pig. There's a swing and a miss by Acuna. Snowballs, 2 strikes to Acuna. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us here tonight. I appreciate the Mets actually showing up with the bats tonight because the last 2 games that we've covered were absolutely boring and atrocious as a Mets fan. So here's the 0-2 pitch to Acuna. He's going to go the other way. It's going to be a fair ball down the line. Acuna's going to get a double here. Alvarez is going to get to third. He looks exhausted. The Mets hitters here that are going the opposite way with a 2-strike count is super, super good to see. And I also love that we're just beating up on the Cardinal bullpen now in game 1 of the series, not holding up to do that. And now that the National League Rookie of the Month just got up, now you move on to Francisco Lindor. So now I just want to see. I said first team to 9 wins. That's what I said. So we need 1 more run. First pitch is high, way high, not even competitive. 1 ball, no strikes to Lindor. This is the breakout day that the Mets have needed, and that Rally Pig has needed, and that I've needed, and that, to be honest, all of us needed. Fouled back. It's going to be 1 ball, 1 strike. Francisco Lindor. For the Mets, after that, I would have to imagine it's got to be Peterson, Lane. I haven't seen that far out, but I would imagine that Peterson's got the Monday night. If I've got the rotation right in my head, I think that's where we're going here. Swing and a miss by Lindor. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. The MLB Gamecast is almost caught up. It just got to Tyrone Taylor's double. Well, there's 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Sproat on Tuesday. They're not going to rush Sproat. And the fact that they're bringing, now some of it might have to do with where they are in the rotation. down in AAA too. But the fact that Tidwell got the call for Sunday's game, I don't think you need him. And the Mets are going to get lots of off days coming up. So I think you'll see Sproat this season. But I think they're going to be really patient. They don't want to rush them through. You know, I think no matter how well all these guys... Oh, Lindor swung at a pitch in the dirt. All right. Well, nonetheless, the Mets scored 2. So it's 8-3 going to the bottom of the 7th here. Yeah, Alvarez making up for Wednesday night's bases loaded strikeout. Look, baseball, this is a common theme. Baseball is a game of failure, and you're going to mess up in big spots on a regular basis, and you just got to figure out how to keep coming back. And, you know, I've said it a bunch of times, hitting a round ball with a round bat squarely is one of the hardest things to do in sports. It's so difficult to do. And there's just going to be times, even when you hit it squarely, that it's still going to be an out. It's not, you didn't do anything wrong. By the way, it is the 7th inning, and for those of you who are not familiar, we like to raid other small creators during whatever team is playing the Mets during the 7th inning. So I'm going to look for a streamer here. I haven't, because all that mess up with the stream, I haven't had a chance to research it. But we're going to try to find, we're going to just stick to one. We're going to stick to one. Oh, yeah, I think we might do 2. We might do 2 tonight. I see 2. One that we haven't. One where he's not actually live. I'm just trying to see if there's any other streams up that we haven't done in a while. Trying to see if there's anybody else who's actually on camera and talking. I don't think so. So let me make sure that I want to make sure that these are both good to go. Yep. All right, we are good. So I'm gonna post the links in the chat here in just a second. I would encourage you, go as we raid, please be polite, encouraging, positive. Lane, why? So I can answer that question, why the Mets haven't called up Daniel Nunez yet. It has to do with the fact that they have to rotate all these pitchers through, these relievers and everything. When Nunez comes up, he's going to stay up. So because they have to move all these guys up and down, they need to keep these roster spots free. So I think you're probably going to see Nunez probably as soon as Monday. That would be my best guess. All right, here we go. So I got the first link that's going up in the chat. So I encourage you to go over, raid, say something positive, hit their like. If you like how they present things, hit the subscribe. Let's share some love. There was one person in here when we raided, so we're gonna bring them some love. This is Mets Life, so go on over, say hi, give a like, give a subscribe if you like their vibe. So this is Mets Life. Mets Life. So smaller channel than us. There we go. So go share some love. Say hi. Encourage the smaller creators putting the work in. There's a strikeout. Jose Buto gets the strikeout. I like bringing Buto in here in a low leverage situation. So yeah, if you guys want to, hit that link. Go hit the like, hit the subscribe, give them some love. No balls, one strike to Scott. That is going to be fouled away. No balls and two strikes to Victor Scott II. All right, we're going to do one more. This is grounded down to first. Alonso tosses it over to Buto. And there's two outs. We're going to do one more raid. One more raid. They are not actually live, but they're live, but they're not live. They're live on another platform. They're cross streaming over. So we're gonna give you one more raid here that we can do. So encourage you. So this is Wardy NYM. He's the first, second raid is the first creator that I ever followed. Fly ball to left field. Nimmo makes the catch. And the Mets are out of the inning. A good inning by Jose Buto. So appreciate you guys hanging out. If you went over, hit the like and hit the raid button and doing all of that. So we are moving on to the top of the 8th inning. It is 8-3 Mets. That is an inning that Jose Buto needed desperately. All right, so we're at commercial breaks. You're not missing any of the action right now, but I appreciate each and every one of you. We are MetropoliFins. We're YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel. If you want to help us get away from that moniker, then hit that like, hit that subscribe. Appreciate each and every one of you. My name is Craig. The Mets are leading 8-3. We've got a nice game going on. Finally, the Mets bats are coming alive at the same time that I'm actually streaming. While we're on commercial break, let's update a couple things here really quick. First of all, due up for the Mets will be Juan Soto, Pete Alonso, and Brandon Nimmo. So Rally Pig gets the rare 7th appearance in the same game. So this is Rally Pig's his 7th appearance, 7 different innings that he showed up today, and so far on the day, Rally Pig is 3 for 6 with 7 runs scored. All right. Here's the first pitch to Soto. It is high. 1 ball, no strikes. We'll do a full scoreboard recap here after this inning, going to the bottom of the 8th. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Soto. One ball, 2 strikes to Soto. Mets are up 8-3. I said first 1 to 9 wins. I might be close. Is Munoz gonna bet again? You know what? I love just getting all these relievers into the game and making them pitch pitches. Ooh. That got is that Pajes still? Yeah, that foul ball hit Pajes. What you're going to see with Soto, too, I think, as he breaks out, you're going to not just see more home runs and extra base hits. You're going to see more of the longer at-bats as he just starts to figure it out and as he learns the strike zone and just gets it all settled in. He's going to get locked in. That's the ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I mean, he has 4 hits in May already, right? So you're talking, he had 2 home runs last game, had the double. He has 2 hits, right? Yeah, 2 hits tonight. He gets under this one. Wow, that's deep. That one, he got under that and it still went to the warning track, guys. He's getting really close to getting locked in. That's the first time I felt like he did not miss that by much. All right, so there's going to be 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Pete Alonso and Brandon Nimmo are the next 2 due up for the Mets. Here's the pitch to Pete. Way up. All the way to the backstop. Doesn't matter. Nobody's on base. That's 1 ball, no strikes to Pete Alonso. That's a strike right down the middle. 1 ball, 1 strike to Pete Alonso. I'm looking for 1 more run. I don't trust this Mets bullpen enough to think that a 5-run lead is safe. Ooh, big swing. Big swing for Pete there and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one's fouled away by Pete. It's going to remain 1 ball and 2 strikes. For the top of the 8th, the Mets are up 8-3. They put up crooked numbers in the 2nd, the 4th, or 2nd, the 5th, and the 7th. That is high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. By the way, we are 4 subscribers away from 250. So if you haven't yet hit that, I would love to hit that number tonight. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button, you can unsubscribe after the stream. Don't worry. There's a chopper by Pete down to 3rd base. Fielded well by Arenado and thrown out. Pete's going to be retired there. 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning. All right, we're going to just announce it now because he needed that. We're going to give the rock-solid relief performance. This is my pet rock that I made back in like kindergarten or something like that. That's going to go to Jose Butto. He's had a rough start to the season, and I give a honorable mention there to Carlos Mendoza for actually bringing him in a low-leverage situation where he could just pitch without worried about giving up runs. You need guys who can pitch in low leverage situations, so there's nothing against him. First pitch is to Nimmo is a ball. And second one goes to the backstop there. 2 balls, no strikes. So Nimmo had his 9 RBI game. Then he went 0 for 5, and now he's 3 for 3 tonight. So it does certainly feel like Nimmo's starting to get locked in as well. And you got to remember, just as the temperature warms up and as batters see more pitchers, they just really get locked in. That's a ball. 3 balls and no strikes. I mean, I'm looking through this Mets lineup now. Of the starters today, everybody has their batting average over 200 now. The only one who's in the game now, Marte came in for Winker. Marte's under 200. But, I mean, Lindor is 297. He keeps hovering right around 300. Juan Soto, right? Juan Soto, who everyone's complaining is not locked in yet, is still hitting 258. Pete, of course. Nimmo, big swing and a miss there. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pete's hitting 345. Nimmo's average is up to 229. Winker's up to 239. Vientos finally is over 205, and it definitely feels like he's getting ready. And there's a walk to Nimmo. Nimmo's seeing the ball well, too. So that's 2 walks. He's on base all 5 times today. I like this Nimmo. I like the Nimmo that is currently that's been playing here the last couple days. And you have to remember, after that 9 RBI game, he got sick, and the sickness is kind of going through the whole clubhouse right now. So that's why you might not have everybody available. But it seems like it's about a 48-hour bug. This is hit out to shallow right field by Marte, and he is going to be retired. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th. Barring a tragedy, that's the last time we're going to Rally Pick's probably done for the day. It is still a great performance for Rally Pick Day. He ends up going 3 for 7 with 7 runs scored. How's it going, Nate? Hope you are doing well today. So we're going to the bottom of the 8th inning. I promised you a full scoreboard update, so let me do that. These are all the games. If you're watching on the horizontal live stream, these are already on the screen for you. So this, let me do a refresh here. I'm going to just refresh because I think some of these games are over now. I guess not. All right, so the Dodgers-Braves game had some sort of delay. I guess I'm assuming it's a rain delay. It's the most common delay. So the Dodgers are leading the Braves 2-1. That's in the bottom of the 9th. There's 2 outs with a 2-1 count to Matt Olson there. All right, the Mariners lead the Rangers 13-0. That's in the bottom of the 9th. Please tell me that wasn't a DeGrom start. No, it was not. It was Jack Leiter. Ooh, Jack Leiter got lit up. Ooh, that's not what I wanted. Gotta go back a screen here. Sorry. Jack Leiter was pitching for the Rangers, got absolutely lit up. All right, the Padres are beating the Pirates 8-4 in the top of the 8th. Angels, without Trout, still holding on to a 1-0 lead over the Tigers in the 5th inning. Giants off to an early 3-0 lead on the Rockies, bottom of the 2nd. All the rest of the games are final. We'll run through them really quick. Reds beat the Nationals 6-1. Phillies over the Diamondbacks 3-2. Orioles over the Royals 3-0. Yankees over the Rays 3-0. Jays beat the Guardians 5-3. Red Sox took care of the Twins 6-1. The Athletics beat the Marlins 6-1 as well. White Sox were able to hold on to the victory over the Astros at their 8th win of the season. So congrats to the White Sox. That was a 7-3 win. And the Cubs got off to a 9-0 lead after 2 innings and ended up putting the Brewers away 10-0 on the day. It's going to be a leadoff double for Mason Wynn here. Prefer Budo over Stanek? Yeah. For right now, I would say that's probably the case. Blitz. No habla español. I only know a tiny bit of Spanish. But we're English only on the chat because I can't moderate other languages. But I appreciate you being here. All right, it is. That was really well played by Nimmo. So we're the bottom of the 8th inning. Mets are up 8-3, though Mason win. Yep. I agree. I hope they don't leave Buto in too long. He had such a good inning. It's like two balls, no strikes. Yeah, because Budo, I prefer Budo, but I kind of wish he didn't bring him out here. Because Budo had a nice, simple 1-2-3 inning. It's like you're trying to put building blocks together for these guys. And I would have much rather seen somebody else come out here than Buto. And because now it's like, if he gives up a run here, everything that you built the last inning is like doesn't matter. It's a 4-pitch walk. Yeah, well, they're saying, I mean, Diaz hasn't pitched in 6 days anyway. So I just like I know in general what Mendoza's trying to do is trying to build confidence in these guys. But oh, yeah, now Stanek warming up. But like now you're going to bring in potentially Stanek in an 8-4 game or with runners on. It's like Budo had a 1-2-3 inning. Take him out of the game. And then he's got that to build on for his next outing. Now, all of that good work is just wasted. Because now he's like, oh, well, I don't know. And then now you're going to potentially bring Stanek in with a tying run on deck, depending on what happens here. Yeah, Stanek's warming up. So if you're going to bring in Stanek, bring him in with nobody on, nobody out in the bottom, like to start the inning. Don't bring him with runners on. Like Stanek can't do that. So the way that Mendoza's managing the bullpen, I understand the limitations, but there's a psychology side that I feel like we're missing here. There's another ball. It's 5 balls in a row. 1 ball, no strikes to Arenado. Told you, like, I don't feel comfortable with a 5-run lead with this bullpen. There's a swing and a miss. I don't know why he swung at that. That was a bad swing by Arenado. It was like 3 or 4 inches out of the zone, and he's pitched 5 straight balls. Like, that was a completely unnecessary swing by Arenado. So let's see if Budo can take advantage of it. It's a grounder to short. Lindor to Acuna to Alonso, and he gets the double play. Arenado totally bailed out Budo. I mean, if you're a Cardinals fan, you got to be shaking your head at why in the world Arenado swung at a 1-0 pitch after Budo had pitched 5 straight balls. It makes 0 sense in the world. Especially when you know you have Stanek warming up in the bullpen. Like, if I'm the Cardinals, I want Budo out of this game to get to Stanek. But in the meantime, I'll take as many pitches off of him as I can. All right, and quickly, Budo gets ahead of Contreras. No balls and 2 strikes. I still don't like the call to bring Budo out here this inning. But if he can manage to get out of this, then maybe he still gets the confidence builder that he needs. There's a grounder to Lindor once again. And Buteau and the Mets get out of the inning, so congrats to Buteau. He really needed that. He really needed that performance there. So we are headed to the top of the 9th inning. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's do a subscriber check. We're looking to try to get to 250. We're looking for 4 more. So if you haven't yet hit that subscribe, we're looking for 4 more. Due up for the Mets, Swaggy Marquee V, Tyrone Taylor, and Francisco Alvarez. Though I wonder, because it is Luis Torrens' birthday today, I heard. I wonder if that actually is the case, if Torrens is going to come up in the 9th inning. Give Alvarez the 9th inning off. Let him sit. I don't know. I wonder. Is today the best Mets lineup that we can currently put out there? What do you guys think? Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Nimmo, Winker, Vientos, McNeil, Alvarez, Acuna. Sub in Marte for Winker for righty-lefty, lefty-righty matchups. Sub in Tyrone Taylor for defense for McNeil. And as soon as he did, he made a good defensive play out in the outfield. I feel like this is like the best lineup that we have. If I could tweak things, I don't mind having Vientos in the 4 hole at this point. But I'd rather him be 4 or 5 instead of 6. Yeah, let me think. I think I heard it's his birthday today. And if it is, you kind of got to get him in this game here. Yeah, it is his birthday today. It's Luis Torrens' birthday today, so happy birthday to Luis Torrens. All right. I still said first 1 to 9 wins, so I need the Mets to prove me right. Need the Mets to prove me right. Get to 9 here. This inning. So, looking for one more run. He is. But, I mean, he played last game. He's going to start twice a week. Vientos hits a grounder to short. I'm okay with kind of the aggressive swings here. Kirby Puckett was amazing, Ryan. And I keep hearing more and more stats about Tony Gwynn, too, that absolutely blow my mind. Are they still warming up Stanek? Oh, my goodness. It looks like we're going to get a Stanek 9th inning. Yeah, Keith Hernandez is like, oh, Stanek here. Another ball. This catcher's let so many balls go past him. 1 ball, no strikes to Tyrone Taylor here. Ryan Helsley is pitching for the Cardinals. That's fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. So I like that the Cardinals are blowing their closer here. I don't get ready, Justin. Everybody buckle up. If Stanek goes 1, 2, 3. So, well, first of all, we already gave the rock solid relief performance to Buteau. But if Stanek can come in and go 1, 2, 3, we'll hand out a double. We'll hand out a double tonight. It's got to be 1, 2, 3. It's 2 balls and 1 strike to Tyrone Taylor here. Here's the pitch. That's a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Remember, Tyrone Taylor hits 1 home run a month, and it's May, so he got his 1 home run in April on April 30th. See if he can get his Second home run of the season now. That's foul down the first baseline. It's going to get out of play just over and beyond the Cardinals' dugout. They're talking about trying not to overwork Diaz, but if that's legitimately the thing here, then you just have to get a second closer. If that's your strategy, you don't want to overwork Diaz. Oh, that hit Tyrone Taylor. I think he's going to be okay, but once again, the Mets lead the majors in hit by pitches. That's the 18th hit by pitch for the Mets this season. Looks like I got him right on the elbow guard. Tyrone Taylor looks like he's fine. Red Man says if Carlos Mendoza puts Stanek in, the game is over. Well, the Mets have had the Cardinals number, so maybe. Who's due up for the Cardinals? Contreras made the last out. It's Burleson, Gorman, and Pajes are due up. We need Edwin Diaz. He's just chilling out in the bullpen. He's not warming up. All right, Francisco Alvarez is at the plate here. That's low. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, once again, as always, appreciate you guys hanging out. Hopefully this will end with a nice Mets victory as well. All right, Jonathan says the best lineup is Lindor, Soto, Alonso. Alvarez hits that one out to center field. Tyrone Taylor goes first to third. Francisco Alvarez with a nice single. Very good. Mauricio at third base. Vientos at DH. Acuna at second. Nimmo left. Alvy catcher. Tyrone Taylor center. I still like starting McNeil in center in games where you think offense is at a premium, and then bring Tyrone Taylor in as that. Yeah, and of course Mauricio. I'm not counting Mauricio right now because he's not on the roster, but I can see a world where Vientos becomes kind of a full-time DH. Acuna hits this one. This is deep in right field. It's going to score the run. It's going to score Tyrone Taylor, and the Mets are going to get to 9 first, so that means we're going to win the game. So it's a sacrifice fly. He almost got it out of here. That's another Yankee Stadium home run. But I said first team to 9 wins, and that's the Mets. That's a very good job by Acuna there, by the way, too. If Stanek goes 1, 2, 3, you'll buy an NFL Plus subscription. All right, Justin. You don't have to buy it till the start of the season. How about that? You can save your money at least, but we'll still hold you to it. First pitch here to Lindor is a ball. By the way, Rally Pig is retired for the day. He has had 7 innings that he's shown up today. I'm going to post that lineup. So, Jonathan's best lineup for the Mets: Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Mauricio, Vientos, Acuna, Nimmo, Alvarez, Taylor. Austin Warren is now warming up. So Stanek is warmed up. Austin Warren is warming up. Lindor hits a sharp grounder to Gorman. He's thrown out at first. But the Mets get to 9 first. First team to 9 wins, and that's going to be your New York Mets. Now the only question is, are they going to win 9-3 or 9-8? Or somewhere in between. All right, so we're on commercial break, going to the bottom of the 9th inning. Normally, if your team was up by 6 going to the bottom of the 9th, you would feel somewhat comfortable. But this is the Mets bullpen. We'll see. I'm not sure if they're going to bring in. Are they bringing in Stanek? Or Or are they bringing in Austin Warren? We'll see. Well, I mean, if Stanek's going to be on the roster, you have to find opportunities for him to pitch. Edward, how's it going? So it is 9-3 Mets. We're going to the bottom of the ninth. We're waiting to see who the Mets are bringing in to pitch. Jose Butto had 2 innings. They were not perfect. The first inning was good, but 2 innings of 1 hit ball with 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Definitely one of his better performances. No, I mean Mendoza's just trying to get him out of his funk. You need him. Stanek's one of the more veteran relievers you have in that bullpen, so you got to help him. You got to help him through. Edward, if you want to be a mod, just hang around here for a while. Hang around here for some months and hang out, get the vibe of the channel, participate in the chat. It's pretty easy to mod right now. We've got a couple of good mods already, but we're always looking for more mods. You called in sick in the 90s to go to a Detroit Tigers game and your boss was sitting in front of you. Did he ever find out, or were you able to stay incognito? He's going to pitch, Redman. All right, it is Stanek. All right. We're standing up for this, right? We got to stand up here. Hold on. We're going to raise the desk. We are going to raise the desk. Alec Burleson is leading off for the Cardinals here. First pitch is hit to deep center field, but Tyrone Taylor is under it. So that's 1 pitch and 1 out. What a great start. We will take that. Yeah, Edward, just hang out with us. You never knew. Nice work, Mark. Now you can go to Tigers games whenever you want. Whenever you want. Go to those Tigers games. Yeah, Edward, just hang out. Get to know us. We'll get to know you. I'm not in a rush to add mods. Wessie. Absolutely. But I'm still holding my breath here until we're officially done. So we have Min Panic, Max Kranick, but I have Max Panic, Ryan Stanek. So 1 ball. This is Nolan Gorman at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'm trying. You gotta be my confidence for me, because I covered both of the Stanek blown games, and then I missed all the high scoring ones. There's strike 3. That's good to see Stanek walking off the mound with some confidence. We got 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Well, I'm sorry to hear that you broke your arm, Edward. Yeah, you're good. So just let's get to know each other, and there's going to hopefully be a need for moderators as we get down the line, as we hopefully keep on growing. Which reminds me, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe. We're 3 away from 250. There's a grounder to short. Lindor has it. All right, I promised. Guess who? Guess what? Stanek is not our new closer. All right, we're going to give double rock-solid relief performances to 2 pitchers who desperately needed good outings in Jose Butto and Ryan Stanek. So here's my pet rock. There he is. The Mets win. This was a really good win because, first of all, the Mets avoid their first 3-game losing streak. It's only them and the Cubs so far who have dodged 3-game losing streaks. So that was good. It was good to see the approach at the plate. Also very good to see Juan Soto having a second game, really good to back up his last game, his back-to-back multi-hit games. Soto had 2 hits. Alonso had 2 hits. Nimmo went 3 for 3 with 2 walks on base, all 5 at bats. Winker had 2 hits. Vientos had a hit. McNeil had a hit. Tyrone Taylor had a hit coming in for McNeil. Francisco Alvarez, 3 for 5. Luis Angel Acuna had a hit, so every Mets starter had a hit. The only batter who didn't have a hit in this game that actually came to the plate was Starling Marte. This is a really solid performance, definitely a fun game. So I agree. We still have lots of bullpen cracks that we're dodging right now, but you have to remember, Daniel Nunez should be coming up soon. And the question keeps coming up, well, why is he not up yet? Well, it's very simple. The Mets have to have a bunch of these roster moves here to get through this little stretch that they're in. So Blade Tidwell is going to be coming up to pitch for the Sunday game, so you're going to have to send someone down for him. But I would not be surprised at all when Blade Tidwell gets sent down after he pitches. Doesn't matter what he does. He's going to, even if he pitches a perfect game, he's going to be sent down after that game. Then I would not be surprised if the move that goes with the Blade Tidwell move when he gets sent back down would be Daniel Nunez there. So let's see. I grew up in New Jersey, so I got the New Jersey side of me. So you're Brooklyn, awesome. Yeah, so I grew up central New Jersey, kind of near the Rutgers campus, if you're familiar with that area of Jersey. Central Jersey, not quite there. So yeah, so anyway, that's what we've got. Very, very good game by the Mets today. Well done. Clay Holmes was not his sharpest, and yet one of the things that Mets pitchers have done, even when they've not had their sharpest games, their starters have found ways to not give up the big inning most of the time. Obviously there's always exceptions to that, but that's good. Thank you, Redman, I appreciate it. So that's what we have. I'm working on some new content series to bring to the channel. So right now, all I'm doing is live streams and the power rankings on Sunday. You only know about Boundbrook. All right. And probably heard of the Jersey Shore stuff. So that's about it. Diaz will be in the game tomorrow. I'm gonna call that one. Diaz will pitch tomorrow, save situation or not. But if he's only going to potentially pitch 2 games in the series, then you don't need to use him in game 1, then you won't. But I don't see too many scenarios where Diaz does not pitch tomorrow. So I would expect to see Edwin Diaz tomorrow. It is Tyler McGill on the mound for the Mets tomorrow. We will be live. Yes, Blade Tidwell is coming up on Sunday. So I appreciate everybody. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe on the way out. We will be live for the game tomorrow. It's like a 2 o'clock or slightly after 2 o'clock start. And we're working on brainstorming some new content series to bring to the channel to give you stuff throughout the week. So I appreciate the best thing that you can do, again, always to help me, like, subscribe, share, let other Mets fans that you know about the channel. I appreciate you all so much. Seriously, I couldn't do any of this without you guys. And so I appreciate it, and I'm happy that we can at least bring to you guys a Mets game here tonight. That being said, I'm hungry, and I'm going to go eat some pizza, and I'm tired, and I'm going to go to bed. Actually, I might be recording a video after this. But anyway, it's time to be done. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Have a great night. And as always, let's go Mets, baby.